My poetry is, Jim Olson, a retired English professor, said, well, Phil, you really do what they call confessional poetry about various stages of your life. And you do very well. You know, I hate that kind of poetry, Phil. Well, so anyway, this is really me. When I was probably 14 years old. The poem is called Rumble. May 22nd, 1958. It's 1 a.m. and the dance has been out for 3 hours. My name is Philip. I'm 14 years old. I'm 6 feet 1 inches tall and I weigh 223 pounds. Sparks fly from the cleats on the heels of my black engineer boots. My black leather jacket fits me as I move as if I grew it. The lead ball melted on the bicycle chain rests uneasily in the pocket of my greasy jeans. The thirsty machete I have double-edged sharpened and strapped inside my pants makes me walk a little like Chester on Gunsmoke. Everywhere I turn, what I hear is behind me. Have I become death, only looking for more death? Please, 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 do not scare me. I might kill you. This is about how I almost froze to death after a wrestling match in 1959. Cool, cold December 9, 1959. I nearly drowned on Moonbeam and Roma brand port wine. This is one of my shorter poems. I did it for Joel Pache's English class. Out of the blackness she came. Winged and white she was. Nike. These 3 poems are a memorial for my dear friend, Dr. Mike Zielinski, who died in the fall about 1.5 years ago. Mike was a theoretical mathematician. He worked on fractal geometry, and he sort of technically advised me on some of my research. Mike was one of the most profoundly religious people in an unoffensive and very tolerant way that I ever knew in my life. I think it was 30 years ago I probably said to him and his wife, Anne, the wife-to-be then, that I was surprised, considering how I lived as a young man, that I was still alive. And he looked at me and said, with a total lack of guile, well, maybe you've been kept alive for something. On the other hand, perhaps the man who I respect the most, who would be turning purple with embarrassment if he heard me say this, Don Goodero, answer to that statement was, that's not it at all, Phil. Only the good die young. The person that I had this experience with is now alive too, still. He's a lawyer and his name is Steve Miller. And we did this, and he added something to the narrative. I want to say a little more about the poem. This poem tries to address the fascination that young men seem to have with death, and how some of them have to be rescued by love. So anyway, this is called Carnival Pilgrims, and I use a kind of a medieval troubadour mode. And troubadours were people that would go around and sing songs for very rich and beautiful women, and if they were lucky, they would get a little money for it. So the raza for this poem is Easter 1970. On my way to the Poinet, Wisconsin Rock Festival with its 40,000 souls. This poem was written by me 30 years ago, which means it's now 16 years ago again, to celebrate 30 years of total sobriety from alcohol since February 2nd, 1971. So I'd add another 17 years to that. The summer of love turned to my winter of discontent, and April 1970 was truly the coldest month. Therefore, Steve and I set out on our quest for Lady Death. She took the form of an 18-year-old blonde-haired, blue-eyed cutie, dressed in a miniskirt with a linen gauze blouse, sandals, flowers in her long blonde hair, and she wore absolutely no underwear whatsoever. We were carnival pilgrims with black leather jackets, but no hair shirts, riding both aback our two-wheeled Norton 750 at 120 mph. Cold sleet walled on our faces, my greatcoat flatting like a landlocked seabird, my arms wrapped tightly around Steve's waist, and a case of beer tucked under each armpit. Faster, faster, faster the engine roared after her receding form. We thought to swap our lives for a dance with Lady Death. Road ice, sleet became a solid, silent wall. Time passed, time present, it all hung forever as we froze. Then I felt her icy lips, and her lips against my cheek, as she laughed and said, "Vietnam has filled my dance card with fine young men, much dearer than the likes of you. Besides, silly boys, with me it's always ladies' choice. Please take my wallflower sister Lady Grace, your designated driver. She will get you home alive."
For more of Phil Kaveny's work, please visit his blog at https://philkaveny.wordpress.com. Also, please share and like this video by giving it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel to see new material.